to hell. We're commonwealth for common people. Through community, Mike Martin's you and me. Throw our enemies through knowledge, commonwealth, common people, commonwealth for common people, commonwealth for common people, commonwealth for common people. Talking mountains rose in the distance when we were
Boston, Massachusetts.
pearly gates. With Mike, we tell our stories, share our trades, and how
Tito Santana.
stocks in all the things that we all make.
Hello, everyone. I beat China all the time. Oh, yeah. I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night to whoever watching this transmission. I want to welcome you to another Market Talk, Commonwealth for Common People, Commonwealth for Common Folks, whatever you want to call the show, call it what you like. The comment section is starting to roll. Really good to see everybody out there. Guys, don't forget to share this because we want to get this live stream channel go like rolling good. Unfortunately, my other channel, I'm putting up videos on it normally, but I want to get this out there because a lot of people don't know that we are still streaming.
Ricky Spanish.
And it's really, really complicated to keep it all balanced because I want to keep it all balanced. Do you know why? Because I want to be able to stay on here. So if I have to Mickey Mouse a couple of channels around just to stay online or to stay on air, yeah. So we got Rusty Benthemer saying, what's with the cowboy hat? Hey, I live in the country, man. Half the townsfolk here wear cowboy hats, man.
Boston, Massachusetts.
All right, people are rolling into the comments. Guys, share this to your favorite social media site. Let's get this out there. And let's do a quick channel plug. Hope everyone's doing well up there. Hope everybody is shaking. A lot of places are going into lockdown again, hard lockdowns. So I really hope people can keep their sanity. We'll be talking about that more on Mike in the Night and what's happening with these lockdowns. And, we need to know what's happening because we're not being told the full story. And there's people on the ground that know the story that could tell us what the story is. Plain and simple. No debates about that. You could easily find somebody to tell us what's going on. Okay. All right, what's going on, folks? So good to see you guys. Woo! So we have, I think Ricky Spanish is in the comments there. Not sure. Hope he's doing okay. And our Discord's up, guys. So Discord's doing well. It is up right now, and Anna Key just messaged me in there saying that the construction industry in Sydney is in disarray. My client is off to the accountant to see if a grant can be accessed. So far, rent is not being paid. Oh, wow. Low roller scratcher. Yes, I'm still buying and selling stock. I sold some stock the other day. I picked up, I don't know, all kinds of stuff. I go back and forth. I just kind of watch the markets and see where they're at. And oh, there's Ralphie. Okay, I'm gonna make him into. I need to make Ralphie into a moderator. Very important to make Ralphie into a moderator. Francis Foley in the house. So good to see you. So guys, share this. I don't care who. Share this on your MySpace. I don't care. All right, what do we got going on here with Okay, let's do a quick channel plug here. Where's my plug? Oh, there it is. We're going to do a quick channel plug, and we're going to jump into the show tonight. All right, guys, please don't forget to subscribe to the main channel. So if you're watching this by chance off of some offshoot or something here, here's a link to the main channel. Please subscribe to the main channel if you can. Also, guys, please, I want to thank everyone that's been buying board games for me. We ship in North America, United States, and Canada. So if we got Cat Lady in stock. So if you guys want to pick up something, maybe support the transmission that way, go ahead and buy something at mtg.toys. mtg.toys. A lot of good board games, hundreds of them. And okay, guys, here's my Instagram. And if you want to message me privately on there, you can. It's easier to contact me there. All right, guys. See, I'm really upset. My masks stay on video can't be seen. I don't know why, and it's peeing me off. Why they're blocking my page. I have 114,000 subscribers on the stupid Facebook, and it's really pissing me off. Guys, here is a Mike in the Night this Saturday. We're 1 week out. So if you guys could go ahead and subscribe to, or set your reminders to this Saturday's Mike in the Night. And masks stay on video is right here. Very important video about masks staying on. And I did a little bit of voiceover on this, a little bit of work. I hope you guys could take the time to see that. Artbydano.com. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. Commission Dano to make your famous next art piece. Get Dano to commission your next famous art piece. You can find him there on Huntington Beach Pier there. He's got a kiosk there, artbydano.com. And don't forget to check out ralphie.co.new Zealand, where rebroadcasting of Mike in the Night takes place. So check it out, ralphie.co.new Zealand, and you could commission Ralphie. The intro is by Ralphie, by the way. All the intros of our shows are by Ralphie, so if you want to commission him for a song. And don't forget to support the Lord Humongous tour. Lord Humongous, it will be rolling out if you can support Lord Humongous. So we got Low Roller Scratcher saying jump in Dogecoin bandwagon again. No, I think I'm gonna pass on Dogecoin this time. Not gonna. No, I'm doing other stuff. I got other stuff, other projects I'm working on and stuff, so I don't want to kind of jinx myself too much, right? All right, we got CJ in the house. We got, who else is here? Oh, Johnny Boy Silver's in the house. Oh, Facebook doesn't like Mickey Mouse, and I think that's discrimination. Okay. So there, I don't know why that's I have no idea why that's discrimination, but it is 2021. This shirt is discriminatory. This cross is dangerous. Oh yeah. Okay, so we got market education in the house. All right, we're going to go into some top stories tonight and find out what the heck is going on out there. And then we're going to jump over into a couple of calls here. Hopefully we can get Ricky Spanish shot if he's not in jail. Oh, we got Big Rob New Zealand in the house. All right, hold on to your gold. A Fed rate hike in 2023 could be a little too late for inflation. Venex, Joe Foster. So this is coming to us by Kitco, and they're reporting, yeah, this is way too outside the window. A Fed hike in 2023 of a quarter basis point percentage. It's going to be way too late. They're going to have to surprise raise rates in Q1 of 2022. Holy crap, time is just flying. I don't even know how I'm still alive, but yeah. So 2022. Holy crap. Yeah, Low Roller Scratch is saying 50K fans on Buck. 50K fans on Bucks fans yesterday, but no masks. Yeah, super spread. Oh, yeah, Ralphie wants to call in. Yeah, that's right. He wanted to call in last week. What happened? Why? Oh, yeah, I had to. Yeah, he wanted to call after the show. Yeah, we'll get Ralphie on for sure. Get Ralphie on for sure. And Discord's open, guys. We are on Peck's channel, Mike in the Night. So you can leave your links in there live. Is this thing still going? All right. Discord's open, guys. Kia Hog Dust in the house. Yeah, Big Rob New Zealand is right. Silver just doesn't get a break. I know. I've been watching Silver and kind of like... But it is what it is. We got Mr. Green in the house. Everybody's in the house here. Yeah, huge labor shortage in the United States. They're bribing people with, like, tablets. They're even paying people $75 to come in for a job interview. So much about scrapping over jobs. When they told you need a college education if you want to do something. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know what you're saying. All right. Kitco's reporting gold market continues to struggle as investors focus on potential for tighter monetary policy and transitory higher inflation pressures. However, one fund manager says that the rally in the gold market is far from done, as there is still plenty of uncertainty to support the precious metals prices. In a report published last week, Joe Foster, portfolio manager of Vanek Gold Strategy, said that he still needs the potential for gold prices to push back to too large an ounce by the end of the year, and it could be too little too late for the Fed to stop the growing inflation threat. They can't. It's not going to fly. You know it's not going to fly. You know, for them to do that, a lot of people are going to be underwater, right? Bitcoin surges past 32,000 after Elon Musk says he owns the coin. Oh, yeah, he owns the coin. So I guess he needs it to go up because he isn't going to... I guess he's buying now.
You're not a nice person.
Yeah, you tell people. Yeah. Elon Musk, the chief executive of Tesla, reiterated his backing of Bitcoin at a conference on Wednesday, saying this is today's, by the way, he owns the token along with Dogecoin and Ethereum.
You're not a nice person.
Yeah, McDonald's is paying $20 an hour according to Low Roller Scratcher. That, I believe, that's American, folks. So that's like 26 Canadian. And people with $1 billion homes. So you're saying I could live in Alabama, work at McDonald's, and pay off a mortgage and a house in 5 years? I could. But if you're in Canada, $20 an hour, $26, you get $7 an hour in Canada. $7.50. Okay. Guys, who would buy the Mike Martins token if it got made? We got M. Howell 99 from Boston, Massachusetts. From Boston, Massachusetts.
Boston, Massachusetts.
Elon Musk, the chief executive of Tesla, reiterated that Bitcoin extended its past 32,000, continuing to rebound after it's erasing most of its gains for the year. The latest leg up came in as Elon Musk and Jack Dorsey and Cathie Wood spoke during the panel on the future of Bitcoin. The largest digital currency rose more than 8% at about 32,270 at 2:27 p.m. in New York on Wednesday. That's today's date. Let me see, this is today's date. So there it is. After frenzy, crazy highs, where Bitcoin headed next. So there it is right there. So there's Bitcoin right there. It's above 30 large. What time is this? This is after 1. I'm not sure if it crashed after. So we need the Reddit guy to infiltrate the gold and silver markets like GameStop. Oh, I think they tried doing it with the silver market like 7-8 months ago. I'm not sure if you guys remember that, but they did. Yeah, I think they tried it with the silver markets, and then something happened, and then somebody from that thing disappeared or something. People disappear all the time. Yeah, that's a normal thing to disappear. Can Bitcoin clean up its high carbon emissions act? Again, they're always going to tie anything that's good. They're going to tie it into emissions and this and carbon credits and all this bull BS. So, FP reporter Stephen Hudges explores what the crypto community is doing to clean up its carbon polluter image. So, this is from 6 hours ago. I don't think this is. They're always trying to find like Mickey Mouse reasons for certain things. Let's go if there's anything to read. Oh, it's a video. No one's gonna watch your video. So, I mean, they're always like I said, they're always trying to find something, right? Let's go over better dwelling here in Canada. See what the hell's going on. Yep, Mr. Green saying, yep, yes, can't go messing with silver prices, and that's, yeah, you can't, I don't know what's happening,
Oh, yeah!
All right, it's 10 minutes into the show, we already covered a whole pile of crap here. We're going to get our first caller in, we'll get Ralphie in first, to talk about finances and what's going on in the markets here. We got global real estate prices grew at 3 times the fastest rate ever. Canada grew 3 times that rate. So global real estate prices are just people in cities are just making bank on paper while their cities turn into empty shells. Canadian home prices made the largest annual jump ever, and that is prices are 20.2% higher than they've increased 123% since 2005. The annual growth is the largest rate as ever seen in Canada, with data going back to the 70s. And global residential real estate prices, there it is. There's Canada. Look at Canada, man. Canada's good. You know why? Because Canada was competing hard. If you go back to 2010, right here, 2010, this is right here. Right there. That's when Canada started competing for wealthy investors that we know of. That we actually know of that they were doing because they came out and admitted it. So it could have started back here. Okay, let's go back to 1993, right here. 1993 is when they actually closed immigration from Europe. Because look at Canada when it was predominantly European. Look at this. And then, boom, deport a bunch of Portuguese back in over here around this time, and housing just takes right off to the moon. Look at that. So, global home prices made the largest annual jump ever as well, and we're looking at a 16.49% since 2005. Much like Canada, the past year has seen the largest annual growth for home prices ever. But, as you may have noticed, Canada is growing at a much faster rate. Again, it's money. It's Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. We know that. We covered those articles already. But Canada has placement for illegal money. So if you're from China and you have a bunch of money from fentanyl sales, you could go ahead and our banks will place it for you. That's why when they were doing this whole money laundering scandal, a lot of banks were going to be like, we're talking in 2019 alone, Canada had over 100 million money laundering infractions. That's just in 2019. Okay, not a million, 100+ million infractions of money laundering in 1 year that they kind of know of. This is what they caught. So there's an article that ties into what I'm talking about right now, actually, that's happening in America, because America's going to be Amerifornia soon, right? So.
Oh, yeah!
All right, where are we here? All right, let's go back. So this is really, don't make a mistake. It is Canada. Canada tends to just be a global outperformer. Over 40% of that growth occurred since 2015, indicating the fourth accelerated recently. Combine that with the country's GDP per capita never retaking the 2012 high, and this isn't because of the economy is doing extraordinary well. It's due to over-reliance on real estate debt over the past few years. Debt's never a problem until it is. So that's true. Debt is never a problem until it becomes a problem, right? And Canadian new home projects see largest growth since 2006, but it won't stick for long. Canadian mortgage debt grew at the fastest rate, so there you go. People are taking on more debt. People are using their homes as ATM machines.
Oh, yeah!
You got it. And that's what's happening there. Canadian real estate sales fell at a rate of 12 times larger than inventory, and that's a big issue. And Canadian home prices increased 11 times income before the recent pandemic boom. So before the pandemic boom, so what was it? 32 times the annual income, or 26 times the annual income, or 11 times the annual income, 38.5%. But before that, it was more. It was like 30, 40, 38 times the annual income. There's your income there in Vancouver, and there's home prices. You know, there's your income, and there's your home prices. So it's like, obviously you could fit this. There's Toronto's income, okay, right there, and then there's the home prices there. How many times could this right here fit in that? You count, do your math. That's a lot. Okay, and then Canadian 2015 to 2019 income growth versus home prices. So there it is. Home prices are outstripping your income. So even if you went to university or college to become a doctor and you're still realizing you're not getting anywhere in life and you're drowning in debt, it's because nothing's going according to the way it should be going. All right, man, I got Old Red with me here. Who remembers me doing shows with Old Red? I pulled him out of the closet the other day. M. Howell, 99. Housing bubble? There are 6 homes for sale on my sister's street alone, and it's going fast. M. Howell, 99. Where are you? Are you in Atlantic City? Right. This is a really well-written article. The growing China threat. Well, Ralphie wants to call. What's up, Ralphie?
Hey, man. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah, I could hear you good. Good to see you.
Good to see you, man. Welcome to the studio.
Let me just check your studio here. Yeah, it looks good, man. It actually looks like you know what you're doing now.
I don't know. I just press random buttons, and then I've got this like button that puts on mic in the night, and that's it.
Yes. Yes.
And the on and off button.
So we missed you last show. I'm sorry. We went past our time.
It's all good, man. How you doing, first of all?
I'm doing good. I'm kind of warming up. It's actually warming up outside. It was actually several degrees cooler, and now the clouds are clearing, and I'm starting to sweat big time. It's getting hot.
Well, man, it's getting hot.
I know. It's winter where you are.
It is. Yep, it is. Man, stuff is happening in New Zealand, though.
You got to tell us what's going on, please.
Okay, Chipkins, the left-hand man of Comrade Jacinda, said that by next year he's going to be hunting down anyone that's turning down the ball juice. And
the COVID jab.
Yeah, they're going to be knocking on our doors, mate.
Well, they're actually going to do it in Canada too, but they have a different approach about it. It's a little bit different, their approach. We'll talk about the approach on Mike in the Night because I want to go in depth with that. But Canada's got it planned. I don't know. America might go full out military. I don't know how, but anyways, continue.
Well, be prepared for that because you need to check out this documentary on Netflix at the moment. It's called How to Become a Tyrant.
Ooh, I was watching that today at my shop.
Yeah, I've got notes here. I've left notes of the playbook.
Okay.
It's really interesting because it's like I've got a checklist. You know, I'm checking what they're doing.
Really?
And it's coming into line. It's almost like a communism monopoly.
Really? Interesting.
No, what's that one where you get communism bingo.
Yes.
Yeah, so the list, man, but I'll tell you what they're doing in New Zealand. So first of all, they're weaponizing the law. Check. That's one of the tactics of how to become a tyrant.
But that's tyranny because that becomes tyranny because if the governments could do it and we can't, that's tyranny.
Yeah. But they've been weaponizing the law for quite some time in New Zealand. If anyone remembers, quite recently, they tried to push a referendum because New Zealand government has a unique system where it's MMP, right? Mm-hmm. So it's meant to be, you know, if you win some chairs in the seat of parliament, then you get X amount of votes, and then they vote on new laws, and it's kind of a democratic process. It's due process, right? Mm-hmm. But no, they tried to get rid of that. Because they tried to put a referendum to make it first past the post, which is a lot like America. But that failed because New Zealanders actually voted against that. Kiwis are pretty onto it. You know, they voted against quite a few things that when they were trying to weaponize the law, you know. Mm-hmm. For example, when John Key was in power, he tried to make a new national flag. People
I
voted
remember
against
that.
because
But I'm not against that.
Yeah.
I'm not against the new national flag. I'm not. Because
that's actually part of one of the tactics, though, because the reason behind that is you're essentially creating a new reign, right? You're creating a new dynasty when you change the national flag. But anyways, at every step, Kiwis are like, vote against it, right? I think a lot of Kiwis are pretty much on the no, because we're a small country, right? Everyone knows everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you a cool photo though of a local kebab shop who got an article in the newspaper because they were feeding homeless people every Sunday.
Isn't that illegal?
Well, yeah, no, they got some press about it because the local council or whatever was like, you shouldn't be feeding people, right? So
yeah, in Canada it's illegal.
I mean, what's up with that though? Because it's I've got it here. So it's funny because they took out the newspaper clipping, as you can see here, and they put it in their menu. Mm-hmm. They're like, our social initiative is to feed the homeless every Sunday for like an hour and a half, and they actually took out the hit piece from Stuff newspaper and put it in their menu. And I just thought that was really interesting because little things like that, if you're a small business owner, right, mm-hmm. you've got your little plot in the land. It's because small businesses are the ones that are creating our economies, not governments. Mm-hmm. They just they have what's called again, I'm reading from my notes on that documentary, How to Become a Tyrant. They have what's called kleptocracy.
Yes, I remember that. They're talking about that.
What I mean by that, they always take a little bit out of your wages, right, to fund what they want to do. So kleptocracy, they try to make privatize things for the government, rather than things like that, like your water. Like water rates in New Zealand are shooting up, right? Because there was actually there was the top something like 200 CEOs in New Zealand, and it was number one was Watercare in New Zealand. Mm-hmm. The CEO of Watercare, because they've privatized it. But yeah, so anyways, what the New Zealand government has done is for example, they've had influence overseas where they're looking at the golden eggs, essentially, forgetting that there's a dragon that's laid those golden eggs.
Right.
So essentially their loyalty has been bought.
Right.
So again, tick. That's part of the tactics of how to become a tyrant. It's like, so the New Zealand government, they've bought, they've aligned their loyalty, weaponized the law. They're rewriting history through censorship and things like that. They've destroyed God. They've corrupted science, which means, all other, unless it's been approved by them, all other scientific opinions have been eliminated, essentially. And what else have I put here? They've nationalized the narrative, tick. And Chipkins is soon going to be following the Kim Jong-il tactic, which is kidnapping people, essentially.
Oh, Kim Jong-il.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy. Remember, he made so many cool movies.
Very good. Okay, very
propaganda. Good. He was a storyteller. Come on. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so it's really interesting if you, it's a really good documentary, How to Become a Tyrant, on Netflix, because it does the checklist, and you can just do that communism bingo and just write notes like I do and see what your government's doing.
Yeah, that is very interesting. Alfie, let me just throw something out there really quick. I was talking to someone that works in the wellness placement management there in New Zealand for homeless people, where people get placed in homes and whatnot, or in shelters and stuff. I was told by somebody last week, I should have told you this, they told me that 1 out of 3 homes in New Zealand are empty.
There are a lot of empty homes. Can you go on a website for me? Just go on homes.co.nz. Homes.co.nz. Anything real estate, that's a really good resource, because what you're noticing is there's a lot of new builds coming up. And I mentioned this in previous episodes with you. Most of it is off the plan. Like, it's not even pictures of actual homes ready to go. It's sort of like off the plan. They're building it. They're wanting you to invest before it even finishes. And they're essentially everything else. If it's a self-standing home, it goes on auction. So they get the first dibs, right? And then they get that plot of land, and they put 4 houses on that one plot of land, right? Have a look at a lot of those listings, right? A lot of them are new builds, or if you deep dive into it, they're not even real photos of homes. They're just like,
Oh, I'm seeing that now.
Yeah, but maybe take some time, because you'll be surprised at how many listings are just like buying off the plan, which is so. I mean, why would you invest essentially your time, your whole life, for a little box in the sky when you're paying for your own little prison cell? It's not really quality of life. You're meant to have. New Zealand has so much land, and we don't. The natural population, which is 4 million going on to 5 million now, that's enough space if you were to keep it all within actual citizens of New Zealand, or say if you were here long enough to contribute to your taxes and contribute to the actual infrastructure.
No, there's
Instead,
people
you're
arriving,
getting
just let me throw something in there, real. There's people arriving into Canada that have contributed 0, and they're getting an old age pension, and there's people that work their whole lives here that get 0.
Absolutely, which is why I'm freaked out about we've got this whole KiwiSaver scheme that came in a few years ago.
Oh, that's a ripoff. That's a criminal.
Well, I'm thinking, what value is that if I can't. Obviously, it's training you to save.
Right.
I can only pull it out when I'm 65, but they can change the rules anytime. There's talks of them increasing that to 67.
Canada did that with retirement savings plan, RRSP. When I was a kid, like, it just started coming out when I was a child, and they were actually allowing you to start taking it out tax-free when you're 65. Now it's 72, and then now you get taxed on it like huge on it.
Why don't they just put it up to 150 years? Because that's the idea behind it. Is the whole mortgage thing, and I read this actually somewhere. The reason why there was actually a reason why it was 30 years was the normal term. It's because that's your productive years. Right.
I got a shout out here from Sicamous, BC. 400 hectare fire threatening the entire town. Our prayers are with you, Habanero Bear. Please be safe. There's about 200 wildfires here in the province I'm in right now. So, anyways.
Wow. But yeah, I just wanted to tell you about that. So just a quick, to intrigue those people to the documentary. Hitler main tactics. Hitler seized power. Sudan crushed his rivals. Idi Amin in Africa reigned through terror, and this is what we're seeing all around the world now. And Stalin controlled the truth. Can you see how many? I mean, it's communism bingo right now.
Communism bingo.
But I think what they're bagging on, and there's another thing on the documentary, is there's this term called useful idiots. Mm-hmm. They bag on people with good faith, people that actually, believe in God, have an actual moral compass. They bag on the fact that they don't think like a tyrant, right? Mm-hmm. And I see a comment there from Jay Smith about Trudeau. I mean, even him, right? He was talking about how, he actually worships the whole system in communist China because they get things done.
Loves Cuba. Loves how China gets things done.
They just get things done. And that's what's worrying me, because New Zealand is in the very similar path right now, is because they're pushing these emergency laws, Mm-hmm. I mean, who is this Chipkin guy? He wasn't even in the polls, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one voted for that.
Like, no one voted for Fauci, too.
No one, exactly, right? Middle management. That's what Jacinda is. And
you know what the funny...
why?
Go ahead, tell us why.
They've bought their loyalty. It comes down to that, man. Right?
Speaking of buying loyalty, a lot of these people will never work in the private sector because they're just completely useless tits. They'll never work in the private sector. No one will hire you. Will you hire these people?
I wonder if there's any parents listening right now. Have you ever come across a child where they're so spoilt and, you're just like, you're just a spoilt child. This is how I see some of the elites. They're not superhuman beings. They're just really spoilt, disconnected. They've never had to worry about, their next meal, that kind of thing. And they've got this tax haven, man, that, like the tax keeps coming in. It doesn't matter if you protest as long as you pay tax. Anyways, what is the solution? Well, I go back to that photo that I emailed you about that kebab owner, right? He's
Kebab,
mocking
yeah.
He's mocking that hit piece from Stuff magazine, don't feed the homeless. So he puts it on his menu. Yeah, he's like, pfft, So it's like small businesses and entrepreneurship. This is what creates economies and, cities and things like that. All the government is basically a way to it's a way to fund their lifestyle. That's how I'm seeing it now, because especially now, because they're weaponizing the laws, guys. This is what's happening. So get ready. I reckon when Chipkins comes knocking on people's doors in New Zealand, that is an act of war. Because he's saying, oh, we're going to come get you, we're going to come get you. Even those are words, act of war, you know what I mean? It's like your belief system is clashing against, our belief system. So there is a clash there. There is a clash. There's a lot of talk happening now, but sooner or later, that conflict, we're going to butt heads. How is it that we're going to win, though? One, through education, spreading the word, and numbers. And also things like we're seeing it a lot now in New Zealand with have you seen that Fight the Funds happening in Australia?
No. Yes, I did actually.
That?
It was like from a few days back, right?
Yeah, so there was this guy in Australia. He got fined 5,000 Australian dollars because he was sipping a coffee and he wasn't wearing a mask. So people are what I mean is people are getting together, right? We have to. And hopefully our numbers overcome theirs, you know what I mean? Thankfully, with the other outcome takeaway from this documentary, How to Become a Tyrant on Netflix, is basically not every regime lasts forever, right? I think the longest one, was Stalin. Would he be right? He was 4 times the length of Hitler and things like that. Like it doesn't last forever. It might last 50 years or something, but it doesn't last forever. But the main thing we've got to be concerned as well is their whole rewriting history, because what they're doing is it's like a memory war, right? They're removing our memory, and the censorship is no longer book burning. It's all digital, and we got to be really, really aware of that. Yeah. But there are other ways. So obviously I've talked about mesh networks before, where you've got Bluetooth connectivity without needing internet access. So there are ways, but I mean, oh man, this is it, guys. We need the numbers, and everyone is doing their little thing. Like, it doesn't mean you have to go save the world. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to save the world, but do something locally. And if you do something brave, make sure others see it so that they are also inspired. And that's what I've done I've done that. For example, I remember at my old workplace, as an example, they wanted everyone to scan in. You have to scan in the app. And I literally said, oh, that's not for me. That's, against my rights. And I said this to there was a room full of people, and I almost made a scene. And I did make a scene. And then I get this email, and they're like, oh, management wasn't really impressed with that. You should have consulted it behind doors in private. That's not going to work. Those tactics aren't going to work, guys. We have to be out in the open. And good news is I've left that role, and I'm now in a new job. So if you've got anything of value to give to people, you're always going to find somewhere else, you know what I mean? But we've all heard about the fight and flight response. You could either run away from what's happening now, or you can fight. But my concern is, if you do, when you're ready to fight, and for example, they're knocking on their doors, you got to make sure you can win. Right, and that was another tick on the communism bingo. Is one of the If all else fails with censorship, destroying God, corrupting science, what do most tyrants do? They start a war. So I'm pretty sure that might happen too, and that's the next logical step. But because what's happening is, what concerns me is they're making sure that it's only their story that's legitimized.
Right.
Giving them divine right to rule. That's essentially it. There's no logic. There's no questioning of faith. When the government essentially owns both God and science, they've corrupted both those two things. I mean, you only have to look at those priests in America being kicked out. Destroy God, corrupt science. Pay off a certain amount of scientists, right? With that aligns to your agenda, and fire the rest. And that's essentially where we're at.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's it's a good way you put that. It's good that you put that together for us, that checklist, because it makes absolute perfect sense what you're saying. And
be careful too, because one of the other things they do is they conceal their brutality. So that's why a lot of news is not coming into mainstream, because they're concealing the brutality. I mean, look, there's so many examples. Put it on the comments as to what's happening locally. Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyways, I can only see what's happening in New Zealand, so I thought I'd give my quick report of New Zealand, and that Chipkins is ready to come to our door by next year.
Okay, so what's this guy's name again?
Oh, I call him Chipkins because he looks like a chipmunk.
Oh, the chipmunk. Yeah, I know. He looks like Simon from the Chipmunks. Not Theodore, not Alvin, but Simon.
Do you know what I've noticed with these? What I've noticed with these tyrants is they've got this look about them where they've got this. Just look at their eyes. The eyes are the windows to the soul. They've got this particular look, with their eyes. And just watch it, and but yeah, hopefully we can get through this, everybody. And we need to get the word out there. And the thing is, there are a lot of useful idiots. That's the sad truth, and that's why they've gotten away with it in the past. Man. You only know about the real truth when you're in the gas chambers, essentially. But now they're just constructing the same old playbook. And it's like really concerning, because once they get to a certain threshold when they've weaponized the law, and they've militarized the police, and they're the ones with the guns, guys.
Right.
So it's really scary where this is going.
Well, New Zealand gave up its guns, right?
Oh yeah, since the Christchurch single shooting, which turned out to be an Australian guy that was visiting here. But yeah, guys, this is it. But the thing is, with every generation has had its trials and tribulations. It's almost like the balances and checks just have to happen every now and then. You know what I mean? That's just the natural role of these tyrants that pop up every now and then, because as one falls, another one comes in, and they retweak and learn from their mistakes. But now the problem is they've got technology now with 5G coming up, real-time telematics, real-time surveillance. And I know a thing or two about surveillance because that's my new role. But you know what I mean? Everything is happening in real time. So I'm hoping people are creative enough to do those checks and balances. You know what I mean? There's a good and evil to every story, to every generation.
Okay, Ralphie. Well, I appreciate you calling in and giving us an update. Mike in the Night's going to be this Saturday, so don't forget to... Ralphie, if you can, why don't you do this? Why don't you find a Rumble or some sort of platform? I don't care which one. Why don't you just... Because you have all the technology beside you, why don't you just stream Mike in the Night live on another platform? I don't care.
The thing with me is... I've got my job, and I've got
I understand.
family,
I understand.
all that sort of
okay,
stuff.
then maybe make a playlist of replays and put it somewhere.
Oh, I've put it on Ralphie Radio.
Oh yeah, Ralphie Radio. That's right, guys. Don't forget to check out ralphie.co.new Zealand. I gave you the link earlier, and we replay Mike in the Night shows there on audio.
But this is the thing, and I've heard this from other channels, is people always look to leaders. They're like, what we need the answers. We need the answers. And it's like, they're always looking for leaders, and it's like, guys, just do something locally. Right? Locally, and start to connect with those like-minded people, show your numbers, show your strength, show your bravery, and put it out in public. And every person is different in terms of waking them up into the matrix. I always say that, because some people, they don't want to wake up from the matrix. Those are the useful idiots, unfortunately. Woo! But you can always put a thought grenade there. You know what I mean? I do that all the time with people. Like, when I'm, putting petrol in my car, or when I'm in the shop, I'm always putting these little things, right? It's all about, I sometimes summarize it to, it's all about control, right? And then, or I'll mention Agenda 21, Agenda 30, right? And that's it. And it's all about control, and that most governments now are looking at the communist model. That's it. Walk away. It's a thought grenade. And because hopefully those little thought grenades do start to ripple, especially when they start hearing it from different people, right? That's when it amplifies that actual thought. And, in the end, truth always prevails, I believe, because it's so much easier to tell the truth than to lie. Because when these politicians lie, it's so obvious. And remember, they're actors, right? Middle management actors. So don't put your faith in them, right? They're not the natural leaders. Who are the leaders in your community? Your farmers, your entrepreneurs, people that actually hire people, right?
Yeah.
Your church leaders, right? These
They're coming,
kind of people are the ones that have God in them, right?
I wanted to throw something out there, Ralphie, real quick. They're coming out. They're coming for public servants, for getting the jab. People, government workers. Oh yeah,
and I know
government
people,
workers.
I know people in my personal life, very, very close to me, who confirm that. People that work in airports, police, that uniformed people, right? But here's the thing, man. Not everyone's buying it. I mean, obviously some people are, but there are, even on those levels, there are some pushbacks, right? Even at the sheriff level or the local level, right? There is always pushbacks, and it's all about education because, look, this wouldn't even be a question if they actually educated people and they were like, this is a real pandemic. This is the reason why you need, the ball juice. This is education. But no, it's about bullying, intimidation, and now Chipkins in New Zealand is coming after us, like physically collecting people. I mean, this is just how to become a tyrant, right? There is no telling a tyrant yes or no. It's their way or the highway, So hopefully we get to a point where we actually replace that with people with moral compasses.
Right.
Yeah. So anyways, before I go, Mike, have you removed your super chats on YouTube?
No, you see, you're watching me on my backup channel. So I only stream. See, Mitch Madden couldn't find me because this channel he's on here, this is my live streaming channel now. I have a live streaming channel, so if things go off the rails here, I don't lose my channel.
Can you do me a favor then? Talk to Blunt News or someone about cryptocurrency, because I know a lot of people, you send wallets out and things like that, so you just need an ID. That's one option. I don't like the PayPal option anymore because they've raised their fees. Other than, giving people like you cash, and although it's not like, this is not, you obviously got your business, but it's like I still want to be able to support people that have the established, microphone in front of their face, those established.
Well, you're already supporting it by your live radio.
I know, buddy, but if you know what, I actually wish you had your store in Auckland, because it's like exactly my type of store, man. It's like gaming, board games. It's so cool.
RPGs, and, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. So hopefully you can, I don't know, one day maybe ship out to New Zealand, even if it's like little, playing cards, something that doesn't cost much to actually ship international, like a small thing. because I still want to be able to support platforms like this, because it's an established, it's almost like it's an established sermon, right? It's the digital sermon that you're doing. But hopefully people connect with others. And I've even found connections locally in New Zealand. If you are in New Zealand, please hit me up, ralphie.co.nz, say I heard you on Mike in the Night, because that's what it's all about as well, is because it's all about those connections, right? That's why I've been told, going to your protests, yes, it's the act of showing numbers, but those things are great too, because you're actually networking and you're exchanging ideas. In New Zealand, actually, it's speaking of protests, farmers' protests. Have you heard of farmers' protests in New Zealand?
Yep, that was last week or a week and a half ago. It was a pile of tractors on the highways, and
it's almost like India, right?
Yeah, tons of tractors on the highways.
That is such a great tactic, because if you've got tractors, right, those are about as good as tanks. I mean, obviously they don't have the gunfire, but I mean, just little things like that, right? Use what you have, tractors, roadblocks, do the Hong Kong protest style with the umbrellas or yellow vests, something, but locally, right? And then always film it. And even if you're doing something brave, right? Like I said with my old workplace, where I said no, like out loud, to the whole signing the app thing, because that's all about telematics, right? That's all about tracking. Anyways, that's another rabbit hole, right? But, I said that to a room full of maybe 20 people, boom. That's all you need to do, right? Just get out there and be brave, and, that sort of thing, but show your courage. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Remind me if I ever become president to put you as my Secretary of State.
I would not want to be a politician, because I don't have that bone in my body. This is the problem with democracy, right? 51% of people in a democracy can tell the other 49% what to do. Mm-hmm. Right? I'm all about. There's actually a really
hello everyone.
There's a guy called Billy TK in New Zealand, as well as Vinnie Eastwood. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I know Vinnie Eastwood. I heard of that name.
Okay, so Billy TK actually, Tekahaka, he's a really great blues musician, by the way, and he's the same thing. He's a dad. He was concerned what was happening, so he actually ran for office. He obviously got hit pieced by all the mainstream media, because he was talking about Agenda 30 and all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. But that was expected. But because he's not a politician, though, but he's sort of, he's a blues musician, likes gigging. But he was like, I'm concerned about the future, my family, my kids. And you know what I mean? And and I've said this before in past shows, is most people think about, the future generation, the earth, what we're doing with, pollution, like all these masks are going straight to the sea, right?
Ocean floors. Yeah.
We're concerned about future generations. Whereas if you're a tyrant and you lust for power, what do you want when you've got power? You just want more power. When you're that type of personality type, you're thinking of today. Mm-hmm. You're thinking of what you get out of it. Yeah. And I've seen this myself. If anyone hasn't heard of what I used to do in 2013, I was a waiter for an elite agency. I started off, waitering for corporate events, but then eventually I got to doing Hollywood parties, and also, saw heaps of famous people, Ewan McGregor, Noel Gallagher, Sophie Ellis-Bextor, you name it. And then, of course, the most famous of them all, the Clintons.
Hillary Clinton,
right?
Yeah.
And also Bill Clinton, I heard it straight from his mouth. He said, the purple elephant in the room, this is back in 2013, is overpopulation. He said that. And he also said, to prepare a nation for war, you must first instill in everyday life hatred, fear, racism, and divide. Ding, ding, ding. Communism bingo.
Mm-hmm. Communism bingo. I love it.
Drop the mic. I think that's all I have to say, Mike. I'd love to hear from others today, and I don't want to hog the spotlight, but think, and because it's your body, your right, man. Like, this is it, guys. They're trying to actually force something in your body. If you succumb to that, you're essentially a slave. That is it. You have lost control of your own vessel, your own kingdom, your own body. They've destroyed God, they've corrupted science, and they're rewriting history.
Tito Santana.
Yeah, I hear you, bud. All right, Ralphie, I'm gonna drop the mic here. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being part of the show and the channel. God bless you, and God bless New Zealand. And we will stay in touch. Don't forget to tune in on Mike in the Night, okay?
Will do. I always do, man.
All
Love
right,
your
take
stuff,
care. God
and,
bless.
God bless you.
Bye. Well, that's Ralphie.co.New Zealand. Guys, do me a favor. Subscribe to this channel you're watching this on if you haven't. You're on another channel. You are not on another channel. You're not on the original channel. This is the Mike in the Night All Live Streams channel. We're going to be doing our live streams on here because I don't want to get in trouble with this BS. The main channel is under like attack. So we got to kind of, just stay here for live streams, and I'll upload the PG video every day, a PG video every day, so nobody panic. So it's going to be okay. Okay, all right, let's open her up. Let's go back to our articles here. So good to hear from Ralphie. Now, this is an important one. The growing China threat. This is from today. China's ruling Communist Party celebrated its 100-year anniversary earlier this month with blah, blah, blah. It goes here, the debate intensifying in the halls of Congress is over how to contain Chinese ambitions bent on reshaping the balance of power, not only in Asia but globally, with Beijing dominating the world's affairs economically, technologically, and militarily. The U.S. is by far the world's premier military power today, with some 800 bases worldwide and an estimated 280 installations in the Asia-Pacific region alone. But Xi Jinping has poured millions into building military bases across the world and is taking other steps to ensure that the Chinese have a deterrence in the Asia-Pacific region. In addition, the communist leader has invested tremendous resources into modernizing and expanding the capability of China's armed forces and the People's Liberation Party. We did this. We armed them. We did everything. Why, Mike? Why are you saying that? Well, because we bought junk that was built under slave labor. And that's how it works. Anybody could build an empire off slavery. Ooh, China's economy grew. Ooh, China's economy is huge. Ooh, Chinese are spending all this money. Yeah. Anyone could have money if it's built under a slave regime. So, go the New Zealand farmers was a great protest. Yeah, it was big farm. I got the videos somebody sent me. Okay, now this is very important. Now pay very close attention to this article. China is buying up American farms. Washington wants to crack down. Bipartisan pressure is building to stop foreign nationals from purchasing American farm operations and receive taxpayer subsidies. So the Chinese are buying up America, and this started happening after Trump was removed from office. The push to drain the Chinese influence from the U.S. economy has reached America's farm country, as congressional lawmakers from both parties are looking at measures to crack down on foreign purchases of prime agricultural real estate. So China's looking on picking that up, and it says here, Chinese firms have expanded their presence in American agriculture over the last decade by snapping up farmland and purchasing major agribusinesses like pork processing and giant Smithfield Foods. By the start of 2020, Chinese owners controlled about 192,000 agricultural acres in the U.S. worth $1.9 billion, including land used for farming, ranching, and forestry, according to the Agricultural Department. So this is very important because Amerifornia is happening, and one of the biggest players in making Amerifornia happening isn't the Americans themselves, isn't the low interest rates, it's the Chinese. And the Chinese played the same game back in the late 80s, early 90s in California. And then in 2015, 2016 in Washington State, Oregon, and in 2012 it was New York. So it's a power play, buying up all the corporation, buying up everything. And this is very dangerous. Now watch this. Biden builds on Trump's use of investment review panel to take on China. So Biden's building on Trump's use of investment review panel. Because, again, anybody can make anything off slave wages. Anybody. You can get one of the poorest countries on the planet, like China was before it joined the World Trade Organization. Before China joined, it was poor as hell. But they got in, and we just started buying their junk. Anyone could build an empire off of slavery. Washington, a low-profile government committee that reviews business deals for national security concerns, is receiving an expanded emphasis as part of Biden administration's plan to compete with China. So the only way to do it is, the only way you could compete with China economically is by having, like, severely low wages and have suicide nets outside your buildings. The only way to compete with China to fuel the demand, the world's demand on wanting things all the time, is by cheap labor. And they monopolized off their own people, off of other cultures living in China under the Chinese umbrella communist rule. Anyone could build an empire off of slavery. Yeah, and Margio saying buying up buildings and leaving them empty. Yeah, that's old news. Okay, Joe Bidon. So it says here, Joe Biden put U.S. real estate back on top for Asian buyers, with Seattle and Los Angeles homes now more popular than New York City apartments. So more and more Chinese are coming in, and they are loving it now that Donald Trump is no longer in power. And this is from a few days ago. Somebody from Seattle, from King County, begged me to play this on the show, so I'm talking about this for you, okay? In Seattle's hot housing market, nearly a quarter of sales are all cash. And here it is. Do you know when a quarter of all sales were all cash? Was when Vancouver put on its foreign buyers tax in Vancouver, and Chinese were skipping Vancouver and going straight to Seattle and Toronto. And look what happened to both housing markets. In one of the most expensive housing markets in the country, nearly 1 in 4 homes is selling for cash. Oh, I'm in South Africa. I'm going to sell everything, and I'm going to go to Seattle, and I'm going to pay cash $1.3 million for a detached home that I could probably buy in Alabama for $90,000, but I'm going to pay $1.5 million, and I'm going to pay cash. Oh, I'm in Egypt. I'm gonna sell all my stuff, and I'm going to pay cash for a home in Seattle. Oh, I'm in Australia. I'm going to sell my $2 million home to buy a $1.7 million American home in Seattle or Washington State. Why? Who's bringing this cash? It's the Chinese. Between January and April, 23.8% of home sales in Seattle area went to buyers paying all cash. According to analysis of county property records by Redfin, the level of cash purchases is up slightly from about 22% in the same period last year, roughly 20% in 2019. Why? Because of the amount of cash that's moving off of Hong Kong shores. Canada got $47 billion of it that it's accounted for, and America got $11.7 billion, right? Local brokers say the tech industry is boasting employees with high salaries. Yeah, I speak to tech workers in Seattle every once in a while, and there's 7 of them to a 1-bedroom. Blaming tech workers. Here, watch this. Watch this. You see, this is why they want to get rid of my channel. I'll show you why they want to get rid of my channel. Let's search across my channel. Watch this. 2 years ago, San Francisco tech workers can't afford homes. BS. Foreign investing. Tech industry moving out of Vancouver. Why is the tech industry moving out of Vancouver? Why? When it's paying out the highest salaries. Because people in tech firms or tech industries, working in the tech industry, can't afford to live. So tech industry moving out of Vancouver 4 years ago. Let me see if I could find that tech workers. Blaming, here, Seattle, 4 years ago. Trends in the housing market, 4 years ago. Big economic takeover trends in the housing market. They're blaming tech workers for it, and it's not. I'm trying to see if I could find the video we made here. I'm just trying to see if I could find it. Yeah, it's here. I know it's here. A video I did and where we're talking about tech workers are having to live like 13 to a room. Look at this from a year ago. Seattle needs more Chinese. Vancouver is now far more expensive, burdened by foreign buyers tax, and has less growth potential. I see Seattle as the new Vancouver, and we're seeing some growth of Chinese investors. This is actually older than a year old, so that's like 2 years old. Seattle housing crisis. China buying up Canada. Where's that one there? Chinese buying up the U.S. This video's here from like 5 years ago. Seattle, King County, housing collapse. Foreign buyers, Chinese entering the housing market in full force 4 years ago. Seattle, King County. I was trying to see Washington State massive housing crisis. So we've been reporting on this for here we go. Tech takeover, and we talk about how basically it's all a big lie. So I just wanted to kind of go over and reminisce on some of the. Look at this. Trends in the housing market, open lines 3 years ago. Wow. Look at this. Are Chinese investors moving away from Canada? Housing market? The survey says yes. Wow, look at this. And we've been talking about this takeover for a long time. This takeover wasn't a couple of weeks in planning. This has been going on for a long time. I love it how they say that Seattle's tech workers are getting higher wages. Yeah. Okay. Chinese buyers abandon Australia's housing market, still get blamed for rising prices. Yeah, a lot of because look, you got Westpac in 12 or 13 months they had 26 million infractions, or 32 million, I can't remember, infractions of money laundering, primarily from mainland China, like 97%. Of course the housing is going to go up. Of course it's going to go up. Why Chicago's housing market is much cheaper than Toronto's. It's no secret that Toronto's housing market is expensive. So expensive, in fact, that it's causing real estate prices to surge in communities far beyond it. This is a bit of a problem for the city that expects to grow 700,000 residents in the next 30 years. And as the agenda discussed on Wednesday, you might say that that's the cost of being in a big city. That's bullshit. That's why I left the big city, right? Because I already knew the bullshit that was coming with the bigger city, or more people moving in. So there it is there. They're talking about this in Ontario. As China debt risks grow, here are 3 warning signs to watch. Here we go. As China growth slows, authorities are looking to strike a better balance between maintaining control and allowing some market-driven forces. What are they going to do? What if people start rising up in China and say, we're done with the slavery, we're done with making the rich richer? Like, what's going to happen? Their economy is going to get derailed like this overnight. Like, let's say China frees a lot of the slave wages and starts freeing people and letting people be free. China's finished, right? The case of bad debt manager, I'm not going to, who cares about that? In first, yeah. So you guys can read this if you want. This sounds like it's a bunch of BS. Let's move on here. Wait, what is this? Okay. So there it is. Investors are trying to make money during levels of inflation. And I'm just looking through here on what's going on. Radio host Larry Elder wins a fight to enter California recall. Asian stocks advance after earning-led U.S. climb markets wrap. PG&E will spend up to $30 billion burying power lines. What else? Crude oil trades above $70 a barrel following a 2-day rebound. Amgen-backed biotech firm Hummingbird weighing U.S. IPO. Lithium market poised to explode. Investors are piling back into lithium stocks, hoping for a repeat of the triple-digit gains of 2016 as car manufacturers pave the way for the EV futu. So I'm going to look at that too. I'm going to look at some lithium-ion stocks I was in before. I did okay with them. I didn't do terrible with them, but you know what I'm saying? Mike, check out the lying flat movement in China. That is coming from Layla. The lying flat movement standing in the way of China's innovation drive. China's leaders have... I'm just going to get her on the phone. I'm not going to read this. I can't even read. Let me see if I can get Layla on the phone. Oh, the game board is finished, by the way. We're making... Let me just do a quick interruption here, if that's okay with you guys. We are making the Mike in the Night... sorry, not the Mike in the Night. The Amerifornia game board here with Dano. He's making a board game with... Dano, see if you could sell this on your store, if you don't mind. I don't mind you sending me a few copies to sell at my store, but try and sell these if you can, my friend, from your artbydano.com, so I could send people there too, right? There's the Amerifornia game. There's the Canada-USA border here. He's kind of working out some of the rules, so I actually look very forward to seeing this and playing this. So I am very looking forward to that, to be honest with you.
Boston, Massachusetts.
All right. See, I was supposed to be going to Boston, Massachusetts this summer. That's our plans were in 2021. We go to Boston, Massachusetts, but no, we can't. You know why? Because of Covista. All right, let me just get Layla on the phone to find out what the hell this means. Oh, Ricky Spanish is messaging me too. Ricky Spanish is in the comments.
Ricky Spanish.
All right, let's find, let me see Layla here.
Mike, how are you?
Good, how are you, my friend?
Good. What's going on?
Okay, so I just wanted... What's this lying flat movement thingy?
So it's really amazing. You're going to love it when you get into it. These younger people are opting out of the rat race. So they are refusing to work hard, to work at all, and to have ambitions. They're not marrying. They just don't do anything. They work the absolute minimum they need in order to survive. So this works out to working a little bit or even just a couple of months a year, and they save it and they just lie flat. You should see the pictures. There was a group online of about 10,000 members in China who are plugging into this movement. And it started with this one guy who laid out the principles for, how you lie flat. I mean, what it means to lie flat in terms of a philosophy. And I was just asking David about the 7 principles because I couldn't find them. I think it's all in Chinese. And so the Chinese government took down that website where you had all of these 10,000 members, and they started to promote against it, because if more and more people do that, if more and more, especially young people do that, they're going to stop contributing to the economy.
Right.
So basically these young Chinese people are refusing to be enslaved, for in this rat race, which, what do they call it? They call it 996007. So It's working basically from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. 6 days a week. And then 007, I think, stands for something like being available 7 days a week, 24 hours. So they're rejecting that. And you actually had some people, I think one woman, she went out and calculated how much it costs to to have a working life, as opposed to how much it costs to lying flat. And she figured that it actually takes less money to lie flat. It takes more money to be part of the rat race, believe it or not. So she figured that. And, they were just sharing all of that information, and the Chinese government locked them down. So it's pretty amazing what's going on. But it's like this, it's quite a revolution in terms of how you resist a system in this totally passive and peaceful way. And then some people were jumping in and saying, that's very close to what Gandhi did. And, it's like passive resistance and, just going off and being on your own, so it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I'd love to read the 7 principles because I couldn't find them. And I think the info was removed. Yeah, hopefully David can fish them out.
I am, and so it is 8 a.m. in Shanghai. Scores of office workers are pouring into the dizzying network of the city's metro lines, toting heavy briefcases and steaming cups of coffee. Meanwhile, Ziyuan Zhang, 27, is tucking himself into bed. 8 a.m. means it's time to lie down. Zhang told Insider, thought I don't have a job to go to, so I can lie down anytime. It's great. Wow.
It's amazing how they come up with these ideas, because their system is so tough, but it's so creative. And I'm sure there's going to be more and more of these people because they have very little to look forward to, they're constantly working and they can't buy a house. They can barely get married. It's not a life for a lot of these people. And now the Chinese government is worried that, people are not going to contribute to the economy.
Well, I'm sick and tired of hearing why the Chinese are a powerful empire. Anyone can build anything off of slave wages.
Mike, that is very true. And actually, to be fair, though, every single big city was built at the expense of a whole lot of people. So I can tell you Dubai is built off the backs of slavery. All of the Gulf, in fact, all of the Gulf, Arabian Gulf region, all of that shiny, tacky stuff over there. Chicago, New York City, they were all built like that. There's a really good book called The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. It's a novel, but it's based off facts, actually. He was a journalist, not a novelist. And he was asked to investigate, I think, the meatpacking companies in Chicago back in the 20s and 30s, if I've got that right. And he ended up writing a book called The Jungle. And it illustrates really, really well of how these big cities were built off the backs of poor immigrants, slave labor and all of that. A lot of the U.S. was built this way. A lot of Chinese people were actually part of slavery, and they're often overlooked. They have a lot to do with building the rail tracks in North America, right? So it's what they do. And also, I think it's not just the slave labor that helps build these cities like that, but I think it's debt and fiat. So what people do is what they seem to do is that they borrow money that isn't backed by anything, and then they just blow up the bubble. Meanwhile, everything is built and done, and then they declare bankruptcy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like they do it for free. You know what I mean? So they borrow, it's not their money, they build it up, and then they declare bankruptcy. The bubble pops. Mm-hmm. So who got paid what? With what real money? You know what I mean? I think there's a lot of that goes on as well.
Canada was smart. They brought in a pile of Portuguese in the 60s and 70s and Greeks and Italians to build a lot of the infrastructure in Toronto. My dad was one of those people. And and then 2007, they just deported them all, so they didn't have to deal with them.
I was just going to say, just going to say.
Canada was smart. Just use them. Yes. Don't extend their visas. Don't promise them this. Don't give them anything, and just kick them out.
Yeah,
But let me tell you, the infrastructure in Toronto, the buildings and the infrastructure went completely downhill after they left.
Yeah, they started to compromise quality. Ask me. I had initially invested in a condo that turned out to have, it was supposedly a 1-bedroom, but the 1-bedroom is not separated by a wall. It was separated by a piece of glass. That's what they considered a 1-bedroom, and you have bylaws that allow this. no issues there. I also heard of the Syrian refugees during the war. They, they got them in Canada in some remote areas to work at the slaughterhouses in Canada, because these are very high turnover jobs. And so I mean it's true. I think there is abusing people and workers, like disposable men. Do you know what I mean, Mike?
Can I throw something out there, Layla? Because you're Syrian and you live in Syria. Could it be possible that they destabilized? Yeah, there's many reasons why they wanted to destabilize Syria, but could it be that they destabilized Syria so they could exploit Syria as a zone of pain by bringing in immigrants that they could push around when they arrive here?
I think they do that with every zone. Obviously, Syria and the Middle East region around Syria is a bit more sensitive than just migrant workers and things like that. It's more loaded. There's the whole Israel thing and the Hezbollah thing in Iran.
But Canada's
right? But yeah, of course, they take advantage of that. Like I was telling you, Mike, now the ads for immigration to Canada are left, right, and center everywhere. I'm seeing them in Facebook groups, or my mom is seeing them. Because I'm not in Syria right now, right? But yeah, they take advantage of that for sure, and they take advantage of desperate people, coming out of very difficult environments, and they'll put them in any job. Like also, Mike, recently, those farmers, I'm not sure where they came from into Canada. I think they were force vaccinated, because they were talking about how some people were hesitant and stuff, but they, they're desperate. They need to move somewhere. So they grab them, they put them in these, not so great jobs, and they jab them, so that is happening too.
Well, people are fleeing Cuba for the jab.
That's right. I forgot that one.
Yeah, they are. Okay, don't forget that. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, let's not forget that.
So we got a very exciting Mike in the Night plan for this Saturday. Guys, I'm going to give you the link. Don't forget, because I don't know if you saw my video. I was pretty peed off the other day, and then I kind of covered it. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you guys the rundown on the channel on what's happening, because a lot of people are confused because we have a live streaming channel. So I got Layla on the phone. I'm going to do this right now. Okay, guys, this is the main channel, the one that I used to live stream on. All the live streams are on here, but they're pasted from the other channel, but they're added to the playlist. You could still find old Mike in the Night episodes here from even last week, from 3 days ago. It's on the main channel. But we're streaming, okay? If you go up here, Layla, I have people calling me at work. I have people messaging me on Instagram. I have people emailing me. I have people visiting me in person, thinking I haven't done Mike in the Night in weeks. Yeah, because they can't find me. So you're going to go up here. There's a button here on the main channel that says live streaming channel. You click on that, and it goes to here. And look, we are live right now. And you need to come to this channel. I'm going to give you the link to the channel. Subscribe to this channel, please. Okay, because I don't want
So one more thing, Mike, that people need to do is that when they subscribe, they have this bell that shows up. They have to click on the bell and then click on the bell above the bell, because they have 3 levels now of notifications, and you want the bell that has that sort of have these what are they, these 2 lines on the side that make it look like it's ringing.
Yes.
So that bell is the notification bell. So once I did that, I never had trouble getting the notifications of all of your live streams and when you go live or every time you post a video. So it might be that they're suppressing, but also check if you've clicked the top bell. So first you click on the one that's next to the subscribe, and then all 3 pop up, and you click on the one at the top.
Mm-hmm. So guys, please subscribe to the live streaming channel, please. Because I'm going to live stream on here in case something gets said that shouldn't be said. Because what we don't even know what to say anymore. But if something gets said that shouldn't be said, this way it's on this channel. At least it's on the backup live streaming channel, and all the shows are kind of copied on the main channel. So they're kind of like in 2 places at once, so to say. So this is the link for Mike in the Night, man, with Australia. Layla, did you see that video I did and then the article that I read about? And the article I read today, guys, is on the live streaming channel. Morning Coffees with Mike is on this channel now because I get very controversial with Morning Coffees with Mike, so they're all here on the channel if you guys want to see them. Because someone asked me if I'm still doing Morning Coffee with Mike. People calling me at the shop, which is nice to hear from people. So here it is. This is the one here you guys have to watch. To this channel. This is my live streaming channel. So I'm gonna Morning Coffee with Mike's on here. Okay, so Daniel's saying, cool, thanks for explaining. So people know what's going on. So this is today's Morning Coffee with Mike. So on there, Layla, I discussed how in Australia, there was a guy that was charged. A store owner was talking to a customer, and he got charged for talking to her.
So it would have been nice to know what was the behavior that would have not led to a charge. Like, what was he supposed to do? Talk in sign language, or
maybe in Spanish.
Well, that's still talking, though, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I guess, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, is Anna around? Or maybe that's for Mike in the Night. But that it would be great to get Anna around, Mike, for this.
We're going to get Anna. Anna's watching
others.
us right now. She is in our Discord right now. So, Anna, I need you to research, because she messaged me, and I found several articles, routers, RT, I think it was MSNBC. A lot of them were saying that talking to each other should not be small chit chat is not allowed at grocery stores between friends. Shop owners should not be talking to each other. Shop owners should not be talking to customers. People should not be stopping and engaging in conversation on the street. It's a long article. It goes through the whole thing. Aniki is saying right now in the comments that Australia is on mute now.
It's completely unbelievable. I mean, how far they're taking this. I mean, what
Is
else
this
are
even
they going to do?
allowed?
Lock people into their homes, you know? Well, yeah, I mean, everything is allowed when there's a state of emergency, Mike. And even if it weren't, it doesn't look like anything is hindering them from doing anything and doing everything. You know, nothing has stopped them so far. It's just gotten worse and sillier and more oppressive. Yeah, there's quite a few things happening this week, Mike, but maybe topics for Mike in the Night, but up to you. We can bring up any topic you like anytime.
I'm just thinking right now, I love it. I don't know if you're watching the show earlier when I was bashing my arm, how they keep saying the tech workers are living off great salaries in Seattle, and that's why the housing prices. Yeah, a tech worker, 5 of them living in a 1-bedroom in Seattle.
Yeah, that's what I heard too. I'm surprised. No, that's not right. And you have some tech workers also in the California area who live in vans and things like that. You know, they're programmers and things
and they're
like
paying
that.
in full cash $1.4 million for a detached home in Seattle.
Yeah, still not as high as Toronto though. But yeah, it is that bad.
Yeah. So they're not paying cash. I know they're not paying cash. And because I know Buddy messaged me. He says there's 5 of us living in a 1-bedroom in Seattle, and they have a routine for showering, so no one's showering within 30 minutes of each other, and the shift work, and a lot of them are working from home now. So what they did was they took the little eating area and they put a 6-foot table and they put computers all over it for them to work from home.
It's really miserable.
It is.
I don't know if any job is worth such a lifestyle. I mean, I think I would just change my job altogether, my career altogether, to have a better lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see what this is. I don't know. Is it paying off in pensions or something? I really doubt. I don't think this is worth anyone's time. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah, like speaking of lying flat, right? I mean, all of those tech workers in this area, they need to follow these young Chinese people and start lying flat. Is this worth anyone's time? This is not worth anyone's time. And I think if you have a side business, these smart programmers and developers, they can have a small business online and they'll do so much better and probably save more, probably living somewhere else. This is actually a consideration I made, Mike. I do that now. It wasn't really worth the trouble to work in Toronto. That's why I never really made a serious effort to. Well, I'm not really looking for a job right now. I mean, I'm still wrapping up my course, but like looking back, it's not really worth the trouble, to work 40, 50 hours a week for that, no pension, no life. You know what I mean? Like
Mickey
you have to
Mouse. Yeah.
consider these things. Yeah. It's not just how nice your job is, and it's also what you're getting out of it for now and the long term.
So Anarchy is saying in the comments that the police have been weaponized. So now we're talking business
Yes.
here. This is our business show. We're talking business. So what does this mean for businesses if business owners can't talk to their customers? Like somebody comes in my store, they're looking for a board game. What am I supposed to do? Not talk to them?
So is there any indication of what this guy was supposed to do for his customer? So no talking, like what if the customer had a question about the product? So I don't know.
Well, they're asking shop owners not to talk to their customers, and then there was one guy that got in trouble for it.
Yeah, but how do you, like, if a customer needs help with a product, how do you go about explaining to them so if someone comes to you asking, which one is the better board game and why, you're going to stay silent?
I don't know. I'm not going to stay silent. I don't stop talking. You walk into my store, I don't stop talking.
I'm just wondering, what is it they're expecting these people to do? How they're expecting them to behave towards their customer when it's so obvious that customers have questions about the things they buy? It's just crazy.
Because it's gotten so dystopian. Well, no,
Yeah.
it's gotten so dystopian that they think that dish towels mean vaccine, and that cutlery means government interference. I think this is what happens when a government starts to lose it, where they feel, one, people are losing confidence in their governments. Two, they feel that they're losing this fight because this narrative or whatever they're trying to sell us, okay, isn't flying anymore, and people are starting to realize. I don't know if you know this, Layla, because this was on the news. You can look it up. It's on the CBC. That instead of helping people in old folks' homes battle COVID, people were in 2020 were given morphine instead.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in the news. It's in the CBC. So there's a lot of people invested in those old folks' homes. There are a lot of old folks' home investment companies that pay out a good dividend and stuff. And I looked at a lot of them. And let me tell you, their stock started to frail out and fizzle because once that article came out on the mainstream media. When the mainstream media is reporting that, you're in trouble.
Well, I think they're just not hiding some things as much anymore.
Yeah.
I think, yes, the narrative is not working. Like, for example, the France protests are good. There's lots of them.
Oh, there was a huge one like 2 days ago.
And it's still ongoing everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's plenty of live streams. I get those on Facebook because my mom watches them closely. And there's a lot of live streams and things like that. And Macron did step back a little bit after the protests.
That guy's a total waste of space.
Yeah, he's like Trudeau. Like these three, Trudeau, Ardern, and Macron, like I see them as part of the same
and Boris
graduating
Johnson.
class. Yeah, Boris Johnson is a total scumbag.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably the biggest fraud of a prime minister that the UK has seen. But let's see where the protests go. Canada in CTV News, they did say that France is implementing a health pass for some places. So that came out in Canada, which means that they want to do the same thing. So they spread it like that so they can do the same thing. And so let's see how far the French protests go, because the French are very good at protesting. They do this all the time. But the
Yellow
police
Vest movement went 60
really
weeks. Brutal.
Yeah. But like Anna's saying, the police is being weaponized. The other day, not long ago, someone posted this in the Discord. I think it might have been Blunt News. He posted something, an incident in in Australia of the police pepper spraying a 12-year-old girl, because of the mask issue. And there was like it's getting out of hand. And remember, even last year, before things got to this point, you had the police breaking car windows and things like that. I don't think we've seen this in Canada yet. Maybe it's not needed. But yeah, they're not even insinuating. They're saying that this should be the case. And there was an article, in Canada, the Observer, they were saying time to move from carrots to sticks. People are talking mandatory vaccines now openly.
Yeah.
So
How long before they plague? How long before they, in your opinion, timeline wise, do you think they're going to start pinning the unvaccinated by spreading the Delta variant and blaming the unvaccinated for the Delta variant and blaming the people who are unvaccinated for the terror they're causing?
So I'm not concerned about blaming. I think if we're still blaming, it's great. Pinning them down is really what we're concerned about, right? You should get the Raven on for this next on the Mike in the Night, Mike. But there's this video going around of UN armored vehicles parked somewhere in North York and Toronto, and it's not
Yes.
really somewhere. It's precisely at that 440 Gary Ray Road, which is where Apotex is. So Apotex is the company of Barry and Honey Sherman, or Barry Sherman. Remember the couple that were assassinated, that were murdered. And this is the hydroxychloroquine story that never made it, that barely made it to the news. And now the UN armored vehicles are parked right there. Like, what in the world is going on, right? So some people, so I was looking at that. I researched a bit more about it. I was looking at what people were saying, people on the ground were saying, and people are like, that's it. They're gonna round up the unvaxxed. And then there was this other video, I think, also from Raven. All of these TikTok videos he has about these camps that are being built in odd places, warships on the Florida coast, just a lot. So it can be that they're starting to militarize a bit more and prep a bit more in this sense. And I think maybe the fall timing, to answer your question, the fall timing might be when we get closer to that. But I would be careful, Mike. I think people should leave. I think the writing is on the wall and everywhere.
The problem is, Layla,
clear.
I don't think we can leave. I had someone trying to leave someone was going on vacation. He was going to go on vacation to Colombia, but he was going to go permanently. And he was planning to move to Colombia for years now. And he says, now it's time to get the hell out of here, right? And they wouldn't let him go. They wouldn't let him leave because he has outstanding student loans.
Okay, so maybe that's a different story, because outstanding student loans is not the COVID reason. But if you don't have student loans, you should be able to leave. Like,
but who doesn't have student loans? I know everybody.
So a lot of people, yeah, of course, a lot of people are going to be in a difficult position, or maybe just loans, right? Even if it's not student loans, maybe other loans. That would be a problem. But it's worth maybe looking into some plans, right? We keep saying there's plan A, B, C, and D.
So what are you going to do, Layla? You're going to stay in Egypt?
I don't know, for the life of me, Mike. I don't know. I'm inclined to travel. I haven't seen my mom in a while, 6 months now, so I want to see her. We might visit Armenia, and I was really tempted to do South America. Actually, I have a friend in Ecuador who's doing something interesting there, and I thought I might go around Dominican, Mexico before the world ends. And then maybe come back here, because I can't work out of Syria. It's very difficult for me to work out of Syria. I can't bank there, and I can't access some websites, for my work, because it's a sanctioned country. So it gets really complicated for me. So Egypt is a really good sort of middle ground, because it has easy access to Syria, and it has easy access to the rest of the world because it's an open country, it's not sanctioned and things like that. And it's also very well serviced across the board. I mean, it's an amazing place with so much to offer. And using your dollars, it's pretty good as well. You know, the issue is that I couldn't open a bank account yet. Like with my tourist visa, I can't open a bank account. That's been tricky. So I'm trying to do something here that would enable me maybe to show proof of income so that I can open one and then maybe change my residence. But I'll have to find out more about that. I haven't had the time so much yet. I'm still studying and wrapping this up. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, in COVID limbo, eh?
You're in COVID limbo. Oh, that's a good one. Every limbo boy and girl. You don't know that song, do you?
No, I don't know.
No, you're too young to know that song. I know Mitch Madden in the comments knows that song. Mitch Madden knows that song. Chubby Checker. Is it Chubby Checker? Limbo Stick? Limbo Rock? I can't play it here on the show because my channel will get flagged, but...
Yeah.
All right,
Do you still have time to bring something out? Someone else you might.
Of course, I got
bring
time. I got 20 minutes left to go. I'm gonna see if I can bring. I want to bring on Mitch. It's been a while because he has quite a bit to say in the comments. Okay.
Yeah, great. Let's hear Mitch then. Super.
Oh, thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too. Take care, Mike. Take care.
That is Layla giving us an update. We got Lenny Pooh sent me a pile of videos, so I'm gonna compile them for you guys. I wanted to see you sending short vids. Okay, so I'm gonna. I guess she's working on a project here in Winnipeg, on a house, I think it is. And let's find out what. Let me call her really quick. She sent me a pile of videos here. Let me just ask her what this is about. Let's twist again, like we did last summer.
Hi, Mike.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Hold on. Let me. I guess that'll work.
Yeah?
How's that? There we go. I hear you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Okay, so what's going on? You sent me a pile of videos. What is that? Is that the project you said you were working on?
That was, well, we thought maybe I could just document it from beginning to end, I guess, if you want to see what it takes from beginning to end to build a house here in Manitoba.
Yeah, please do so. Keep us up to. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take those clips and kind of work them together and make one video out of it.
That's what I thought. Yeah. And that's because, I'm not an expert at that. When you take videos, if they're too long, they're too hard to send. So I thought I'll just take little short clips, I guess. That's easy to send. I don't know what you think about that. I don't know. But if you can string them together, sure. Great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So today that was just, the trees coming down. You saw that big tree. That's a big guy. That's a 100-year-old tree, right? It's sad, but it's got to come down. And then what? Where are we at? Well, it's just that here in Manitoba, we have such extreme weather. We've got we go from minus 30, minus 40 to plus 30, plus 40, right? So we're heat wave, cold streak. And so our houses are built, you know what? We probably have some of the better built houses, I would say, around, because we've got to withstand some extremes. So yeah, that's the one I'm building there, and I'm going to sell that one. That one I'm not going to keep. I'm going to sell it in the end. So it's going to be a nice one and a great area too.
Good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I got the videos here, guys. So I'm gonna
So I have all the plans. The plans were done, right? So we were working on, because everything's taking longer right now.
Oh, and everything takes long. I'm still working on a bathroom for 6 months.
Well, it's not going to take that long. But the plans took a while, and then you got to send them off. Surveyors, everyone's really busy. They got to do the service plan and the drainage plans and all that. And all that's done. It's all in the city. They say it's going to take 4 weeks, so it's still going to take a while, but it's going past all their review. And then once that's done, hopefully hopefully the house will go down in a month. And then, like, I didn't need to be there for the trees. I don't need to go watch them take trees down. But I thought, I'll go down, I'll document. Why not? I might as well. And then the rest will be fun. A demo is cool. Yeah, services are being disconnected, stuff like that. There's so many little jobs to do. But the fun part is once it's going down, and then that'll move fast. And I had to order the floor trusses, which are going to take 8 weeks, that normally take 2 weeks to get the trusses done. It's like 8 weeks, 2 months. So I really have to get up to step. You got to keep your finger on the pulse these days and see, like, where are the products, how long is it going to take me to get whatever, and then order that much in advance, because you can't order and have it sit in the warehouse, right? You got to order it, and they kind of expect you to come get it when it's ready. So it's just figuring out what the timing is on everything. Sorry, I have such a bad throat. I am breathing smoke every day. Like our weather right here, I don't know how it is where you are, but I'm living in a smoke fest right now, and I can barely breathe. My throat, my chest. I don't know if you can hear that, but wow. It's brutal here.
No, you sound fine. I just...
oh, good.
The sun is blasting here, so we got no smoke in the air or no clouds, and the sun is just blasting strong here. I have to find a way to cover this window. It's disgusting.
Nice. Yeah.
So that looks pretty good. I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that, and that you're moving on something good there.
Yep. It's a good one. It's hard to get land around here. It's very hard. I had to write 5 offers before I finally got one. It's so competitive. And even tear downs, like everything, especially they might be the worst. Because, it's infill, right? And you know what infill is? Well, you talk about that all the time. I know in BC, they're like $3-4 million for a tear down. We're not like that here, but it's very hard. It's competitive. So yeah, got one. It's great. It's in a great area. It's going to be great, excellent build, because that area can, that's like can support that type of a price. It'll be a little higher end because that's what you got to build there. Do it on piles. I'm going to do it on structural wood floor. I don't know if you know what structural wood floor is. I don't know, but here, especially in that part of town, it's a lot of river around, so it's a lot of clay soil. So you'll find the soil will expand and contract a lot. So if you don't want your house to rock and roll, that's what I'm doing there anyway, because I'm going to have a secondary unit downstairs as well. So I want it to be on a structural wood floor. It costs a lot more money.
Tear down.
It's okay. I'll get it back.
Going down in about a month.
Oh, I'm seeing the house here. You're walking around it. And
yeah, I just wanted to try to see, like, that tree is huge. So, I didn't want to get like hit by it, and I couldn't stay all day. Like, I really just grabbed a couple shots, and I had to go out of town. I had to go to town today on a whole day, showing a cottage. So I just booked a whole bunch of showings, like 6 people, right? I had showings one after another because it's an hour and a half away. I thought I'm going to go. Bing, bang, boom with the showings. And then come home, and I'll probably have a few offers on it and get that sold tomorrow. Yep.
Well, don't worry. Like if you knock that house down, and you find that it's going to be too complicated to build a, if you find if you find to see it's going to start to be a hindrance with timing and stuff, you could just sell it like a clear lot if you wanted to.
No. It's not a hindrance. It's what I do. No. It's not that. It's just the timing. That's all. It's not a big deal. I'm up to speed already. Like I said, I had to order trusses. I would never order trusses 2 months in advance. I have to. I'm not ready to put floors in. It's not even down, but I have to order them now because by the time they come, then I'll be ready. You know what I mean? It's just planning because everything is so behind. You have to get up to speed on the scheduling of everything else. That's all. No, I no way. I'm building and I'm selling that. I'm selling my land. You know how hard it is to get land?
I know. I'm just saying you could get a pretty penny for it if it's cleared off. I'm saying, like, if you did
yeah, I guess. If it's already done and ready to go, I guess. I don't know. That tree, those 2 trees coming down is, I don't know what it is.
Papa Pist is saying that you paid
$2,600.
$150,000 minimum for that land.
That was $232.
$232 for that land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for that lot. Yeah.
That lot in Toronto, you're looking at about 1.1 million.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, we're not quite there. But we're rocking here. Holy cow, it's so busy right now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have such little inventory. Like, it's what? Our inventory gets worse. Every time I turn around, every month, our inventory is worse. It's like, where are all the houses? We have a serious shortage here.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a good time. Like, and plus I got a great deal on that, on the trusses. Excellent deal. I just hit a good day where, cause lumber's coming down. So I hit a good day and got a good deal there. So that's good, but it's going to come down even more in 2 months. It's probably going to be half that price actually, but I can't wait 2 months. I have to order it now because I need it in 2 months. But it's, it's just tricky out there, right? With supplies and costs but lumber's coming down. So that's good news.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's actually pretty good news. Well, we're wrapping up our second hour here. Wow.
Nice.
Time goes fast. I'm going to get, guys, this Saturday's Mike in the Night. I'm going to get Mitch Madden on because it's been a while on Mike in the Night. We're going to get Anna Key on to find out what the heck is going on, if she's available, is going on for, she's on lockdown to find out what's going on in Australia, where people are not allowed to talk to each other. Are people allowed to come on the show if they're in Australia now? Like, I'm not sure what's happening.
How much can you talk? Yeah, well, what's happening here, which is very disturbing to me. Like yesterday even, I was flat out asked if I was double vaccinated, and I was with 3 people, right? Like, I got called in on a listing appointment. Great. People I know, like, don't know personally, but people I know as clients. And then I went in and their tenant asked me if I was vaccinated, and I was like, no. And they all were, and they made me wear a mask. And they're double vaxxed. And they're like, oh, you're not vaccinated? They made me wear a mask. So I felt like a complete leper. But I took it well. I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. I'll put it on, because I am. Like, I have to do that, right? It's mandated here. But they, I got my first taste of what it's like. To just feel like, wow, they really think that they can do that. And I guess in a way they can. I guess they can. And then I was at the hairdresser for the first time in 6 months because they've been shut down. And she said that every day the COVID police come into their establishment, and there's restaurants around. Every day those little COVID people come and check when they least expect it, and they're interrogated. They'll come in, they'll make sure that you have the right amount of people. They can only have one customer at a time. You're not allowed to double up your customers like the olden days. And they'll interrogate and ask about how long the customer stayed, and look at your little list of how your appointments went. And then they go in the restaurants and make sure everyone's checking ID. Like, they are just, it feels like Gestapo in this town. Mm-hmm. It's kind of freaky. Like, I don't know, right? Part thinks like, wow, when is this? Like, where does it end? And then I know Australia is locked down again. So I think, well, obviously, if they're locked down, we're next. Like, when winter comes, they'll do it again.
Northern Hemisphere, August, September. Hard lockdowns.
So I'm taking my freedom while I have it. Yikes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're called COVID snitches.
Well, yeah, they're paid to do that. That's their job.
Your tax dollars are paying these people to make sure you're in line.
Yeah, and going and actually terrorizing. Like, I know the hairdressers there say they feel really nervous because it's like, maybe I didn't get it right. They checked the sanitation and everything. It's like, maybe there's a hair out of place. How do they know? And if it is, they'll shut that business down. You're shut down if you're not complying. So it's nerve-wracking that when they least expect it, you better not have one thing wrong, because you're getting shut down, and they can't afford to be shut down. They're barely hanging on. It's
well, in Australia right now, they're posting people's addresses now on public news. They're posting people's addresses where if you were at this party at this address, you must quarantine and get tested and stay quarantined for 3 months, or for like 13 days or something.
Oh, yeah, it's bad. They've got all kinds of things like that here too. And it's mandatory. And that's why they want to take people's name and number, because they want to know one little outbreak and everyone shut down. Everyone have fun staying home for 2 weeks. If you were at the restaurant that got found out that something's going on, and here's some great news. So we were so locked down that we could only have, there could only be 25 people at some kind of gathering outside, not in your home, not there, but a gathering outside, 25 people. And you know how they slowly ease restrictions? Well, they went overnight from 25 people to 150 people. They didn't go 25, 50, 75. They just hardcore 150 people you could have outside the day of our premier's daughter's wedding. So our premier's daughter had a wedding, and what do you know? Magically, you can have 150 people at a gathering now. I mean, if it's not blatant that, as soon as they need a little something favor, sure, we can be free. They have totally different rules. It's so obvious.
Mm-hmm.
So obvious. So luckily she got to have a nice wedding, and everyone else, and probably planned for 150, whereas everyone else that has to plan for 25, and then boom, okay, you can have 150 now. It's just so obvious. It's so blatant. It's ridiculous. And yet, how many people have I heard who are getting the jab, double jab too, and are saying I really didn't want to. I really didn't want to. It's I don't get that. I don't get the whole, I didn't want to do it, but yeah, I did it. It's what? Why? Where's our resistance? It's not there. People are just caving and just, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen around here. And now the boosters are going to start to be unleashed. So what will they do with me then? I don't know. I already lost. I got notified this morning that, cause there was another thing that I do, and then today, and they wanted me for, how sometimes I'll go, do shows. I was on a TV series, and then, that same production company called me looking for me to do it. And then seeing, do I have time on these days? We have a perfect role for you. Great. Then they send you your contract. And in that contract, I had to be vaccinated double or planning on my second. I'm I'm not doing that. So they're oh, it's too bad. It's not us. It's not our preference. They said that that's going to be the new norm, and it's in their insurance.
Well, your life insurance won't cover you if you're vaccinated, by the way.
I don't know. They can't have unvaccinated people now. So, they were really sorry. I was yeah, no, that's just not going to work. And I just, it hit me hard that here I am wearing a mask with a bunch of vaccinated people, double vaxxed. And then now I can't, now they're telling me, oh, if you don't, because you can do that. If you already have work and have a contract, then you can't change the contract to make you vaccinated. But if you enter into new contracts, yeah, then they can stipulate that you have to be. So I don't know. I felt all that yesterday. Is just, but it was a better day today. It was a better day.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going. Yeah, it's coming. They're tightening those nooses. Mm-hmm.
It is, and it's going to be a very interesting. Looking forward, going forward to what is going to be happening. It's a very entertaining time to be alive, so to say.
You know what? We're actually truly blessed. In a way, I love seeing these lessons because I really felt and then what I really appreciated, because I was kind of on the listing appointment, I know these people, and I thought, are they going to say, we don't want you to do our house sale because you're not vaccinated and we all are? I honestly thought, they might do that. But then today, yeah, it was good. And I thought, okay, they're going to be kind. And same with when the letter that they gave me about, the show saying it's not our choice. We love working with you. It's just great. Wish I could. It's not our choice. That kind of thing. I thought that's nice that you're kind. And it reminded me, I thought, in the days of the real Gestapo, when they were, picking on the, Jewish people, and your neighbors were being treated differently than you were, there were some kind people out there who said, it's not fair. And I like that, I'm choosing this, and there are a lot of people who are just, they're doing theirs, but they can respect and be kind. That, because some people are more abusive about it. And then there's those who are kind. And I like those lessons. I see it and can sort of relate to what others in the world, obviously it's not that bad what I'm going through compared to what others go through. But I can relate to, just those whole times where there were some neighbors who thought, this is wrong. I'm not going to let this happen. I'm going to help out my neighbor and like hide him in my house or, do things for them, right? There's always people like that. And so I see that side of people too. And I appreciate that. So I do feel very blessed that, that we're going through a lot of lessons here in life. We're learning a lot about our own selves and, and a bigger picture and the different types of treatment you can get from different people, right? There's bad, and then there's really good and kind. And I like that a lot. And so, you got to deal with both. You got to live in a world, where on one hand, it's pure deception. And on the other hand, I know the truth. There's truth, right? But you live in this dichotomy of a life, right? There's the hell, and then there's the silver lining.
We have Crazy Shredder on the comments saying FDA approval will get so many off the fence. And FDA approval gets so many off the fence. FDA is having a tough time approving a lot of this stuff because insurance companies don't want to join. The insurance companies are trying to find ways or loopholes right now with lawyers trying to find ways so they don't have to pay out, like accidental deaths and all kinds of weird crap. And that's becoming a huge issue. That's why the FDA is taking a million years to approve something. It's because life insurance companies and people with injury stuff and all that stuff don't have, you know what I'm saying, right? They don't want to be part of this, or they don't want, like, what do they do? Do they refund everyone's insurance policy that they've paid out, that they've been paying for the last 10, 20 years? That's a major issue for insurance companies. And that's why the FDA is very careful.
Yeah, that's insurance companies in general. All insurance company, no matter what you're insured for, try not to have to pay you. That's the trick of it. You pay all the money into insurance, but their goal is not to be like, oh man, you need us now? Oh, here we are for you. That is not their goal. Their goal is always to be like, yeah, you got to oftentimes, I've never had to do insurance claims, but every time I turn around and see others that have had stuff, it always seems to be a battle. They don't really want to pay in general. That's not how they make money. But so, yeah, I'm not surprised about that. That's pretty much the insurance, gig. I don't know. I don't know much about insurance and COVID. Like, I don't have that kind of stuff. I'm self-employed. I just don't really know. I can't really comment on that. But I'm not surprised that insurance companies in the end don't want to pay. They're not going to make money if they start paying out. They look for loopholes. That's for sure. Never fails.
Spiffy saying, watch the insurance companies just not cover you if you cross jabs. Yeah, they're looking for loopholes. So people that are getting injuries now or dying, if they crossed or took different manufacturers, the insurance companies now are finding loopholes with that too. But they're trying to find a way so the FDA could approve this, so everybody could go out and get their jab. You know what I'm saying? So this way the insurance companies don't lose, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because 46% of Americans have some sort of life insurance, whether it's through work, they pay for themselves and stuff. I have a life insurance company. I pay for myself, my family. I've been paying, I think, even before I met my wife and had my kids, I've been paying my own policy through that big Texas company that I've been paying through my dad's union since I was, I think, 17 years old.
Yeah.
Right? And it's not cheap. I've been paying some good money into that. Now, they're like, oh, what do we do? Well, if the FDA approves it, then we can't rule this out, so we kind of have to, because before the insurance companies were saying, well, it's not an approved vaccine, or it's not approved, or it's not an approved vaccine, right? Or it's not seen as an approved, or it's been tested for it to be used on humans. So they use that excuse if that's what insurance companies have been using excuses with, right?
Always. That's exactly what they do, is look for loopholes out of having to pay. Yeah, they don't show up on your doorstep like the commercials. Commercials are like, oh, if something happens, we're here for you. That's not actually the reality. You're sort of stuck and hoping and waiting to be paid out. And, sometimes it eventually comes through, and they look for loopholes all the time. But the way I understand the FDA approval, the way I understand it is that all those vaccines are in trials until December of 2022, right? That's when the trials end. So it is a 2-year trial period. Like it is, everyone who's in it is in the trials. Basically, they're not just going to approve it. Like, they need to do their 2 years of trials. The way I understand it, I can't see them early approving it. Although we're technically here in Canada out of emergency status, but a lot of people don't really realize that. I mean, I don't know that we're in an emergency. Like you know what? They make it complicated on purpose. They just do, so that you just don't really know what's up or down. And then, of course, the goal is to keep jabbing. Let's go. They got to get that in you. So it's, you can't go to Barbados if you have that mix, and you can't.
No. But our governments could go to Barbados and St. Bart's and St. Lucia and Jamaica. They could go everywhere.
Yep. And they can have weddings and they can have fun. Yep. Not us. But that's a trick, right? Like, what kind of a bad joke is that you have the wrong vaccine? They don't approve it here. They do approve it there.
Oh, we're just getting warmed up, Lenny. It's getting warmed up. Watch what they're going to start doing. Oh, this one here. Oh, if you wanted this, you can't go to the Bruce Springsteen concert. Oh, you want to fly a blimp? You got to take this vaccine. Oh, you didn't take, well, if you want to take a cruise, you need this one. They're going to make it like a cruise vaccine, a flying vaccine, I scratch my penis vaccine. They're going to have a different one for everyone.
Yeah, a Springsteen vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, whatever concert.
Oh, a concert vaccine?
We got a vaccine for that. You bet. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this concert vaccine? No, this one doesn't work for Bruce Springsteen. This is only a Billy Idol one. So you got to get this one here for Bon Jovi, and they could cover you to go to this concert.
It's really bad.
It's going to get to that. Watch.
I know. I don't know how I'm going to skate through it. Today I skate through it. I had 6 showings that I lined up in a row. 5 out of those 6 showings, the people who came in all came in. Oh, hi. You know what? I didn't even know their name. Hi. We each have our double vax, because they didn't really have their mask on. Oh, we each have our double vax. So we're fine. And then I just said, because I wasn't going to fall for what I did yesterday when they were all no masks, they're all double vaxxed. And then they questioned, did I have it when I took mine off? So this time I just kept mine on and said, I have to keep mine on, for, work. I didn't want to get into anything. I just kept it on. I don't want no one. I'm not talking about if I'm vaxxed or not. They take theirs off. I don't care. They're double vaxxed. Good for you. Yeah, it's not
people come into my store. I got the vaccine, and I'm like, I don't even know you.
And I'm double vaxxed. Here I come. It's like, everyone here, we're all got her. He and I were both everywhere I went. That's hi. We're all double vaxxed here. We're good. We're safe. It's like, wow, what happened?
Hello, everyone.
Yikes.
Okay, Lenny, I rolled into my 2 hours. I am going to start wrapping it up. I'm going to do a last channel plug here so we can get people on the new channel. People are getting confused of where to find us live. So guys, this is it. This is the live streaming channel. So here it is right here. This is the live streaming channel, folks. So I'm going to go over this with everyone, Lenny. So I'm going to let you go. Thanks for calling in and giving us an update.
Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Okay, bless you too.
Thank you. Bye.
Night. Bye.
Lenny's got a lot to share with us. So lots of I like this house, this tear down here. I'm going to make a one little video there tomorrow when I get some time. And yeah, so I got Jacob is going to come on the show. He's going to be talking about self-assembled magnetic nanosystems for cybernetic biosynthetry interface and control systems in humans, including DNA hydrogel tech. So he's going to come on Saturday to talk about what's happening with that new stuff that's coming out. It's supposed to be really good. I'm being sarcastic. When I hear words like that, I run to the hills. Guys, this is the channel here. This is the live streaming channel. Please, if you're watching this on this channel, subscribe. This is the main channel. Subscribe to that too. I put Americans visiting Canada may not be able to return back to America. Watch out. I made a video on that today. Don't forget to check out the Mike in the Night this Saturday. Please go to Mike in the Night from this Saturday. Please, Mike in the Night for this Saturday. Oh, and I'm still doing Morning Coffee with Mike. It's on this channel here. Right here. Morning Coffee with Mike is on this channel, on the live streaming channel. So make sure you subscribe to the live streaming channel. Guys, Merit Toys and Games, mtg.toys. Please subscribe. Be part of the channel. You want to support the channel and you live in North America? Go ahead and buy a board game. There's so many good games I could talk about here with you guys, like Peaky Blinders game, the Dune Imperium, Rifts, the Okanagan game, the board game, Catacombs, Lords of Waterdeep. This game is so good. It's the best work management game ever. And if you go into games here, I have hundreds. It says 50 there, but I have hundreds and hundreds. Look at this one. This one just came out. I don't even know. I can't even. Catapult Kingdoms, Axis and Allies. Ooh, I got two of them. Axis and Allies. I got Mafia. Oh man, it just keeps going on and on and on. Kids games and stuff. mtg.toys. Rallyman's a good one too. So if you guys want to support, if you can support the transmission, buy a board game. I'm actually selling something that's actually entertaining. Guys, don't forget to message me on Instagram. If you need to message me on here, please message me on Instagram. Also, guys, this is my masks stay on video. I don't know why they keep taking this video down on me. They're not taking it down, they're blocking it. And there's nothing wrong. I've got permission from the creators of South Park. Like, it got flagged, then it got approved by the South Park people. They saw the video and they're like, and I got an email from YouTube saying, congratulations, you are allowed to use this video. So here's the video here about masks staying on. It is a true story. Here you go. This is the mask stay on video. You need to watch this. You need to watch this video because you little. That's me talking. I got the good audio on there. They do the voiceover on there. Artbydano.com, artbydano.net. Not your typical art. Contact Dano to commission you a photo. He's an incredible artist with packages and bundles. And the Amerifornia board game coming out soon. And don't forget to check out Ralphie.co.New Zealand for your replays of Mike in the Night. Don't forget to check it out, Ralphie.co.New Zealand, and get Ralphie to commission you an intro track. And Lord Humongous, don't forget to Amerifornia tour. Don't forget to donate a few shekels to Lord Humongous if you guys can. Please support Lord Humongous. There's his thing. Grindhouse Cartoon saying, my family loves playing board games. I have a lot of good Dano, I got so many good board games, man. I mean, you tell me what your budget, like what budget you want to be in. I could find you some really good games that I know and I have experience playing that I could shoot ideas I could shoot your way, and you could be like, okay, I'll take my advice on these games. I know what I'm talking about. I had Dr. Mysterio on the at my shop the other day, and he was going through. He's like, wow, you really know your stuff. You know what I'm saying? And alright, guys. Commonwealth, common people, Commonwealth, common people. Let's get some music here. Credits on our credit system. I want to thank Mitch Madden for being in the comments, LK to be in the comments, Grindhouse Cartoons to be in the comments, Maria Gee.
Commonwealth for common people.
Hello, everyone.
Going against the rules.
Layla for coming on the show. Shafi D.
Through
Mass, Free Society, Spiffy BB, Anarchy, I think I said that. Peter O'Brien, and who else is here? Not too many people commenting tonight. Ricky Travis. Ricky Travis is in there. Scary Times in the house. John Ming in the house. D-Man in the house.
With Mike, we tell our stories, share our trades, in housing, in stocks, and all the things that we all make. Through his show.
All right, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in and being part of the channel. Take care, and if you can't take care, please be safe. Mike Martin's here, signing off.